All right, welcome everyone. I think everyone's here. Thank you for joining us. It is Tuesday, December 3rd already. I am still the person who is struggling with writing December every time I write down the date. But welcome to December, and that might just be for me. But we are here today to do our BEAD pre-registration Q&A session. So thanks to everybody for joining us. And I will do some quick intros for those who are with us on the team to help answer your questions. But this is very general and casual. And we just ask those of you, if you have questions, to go ahead and unmute and use your camera if you can, and ask your questions and identify who you are. But again, thanks for joining us. I am Kelly from the State Broadband Office at the Arizona Commerce Authority. And with me, I can see unmuted already, is Iris. Iris, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Iris. I'm from the KPMG team, so working with ACA and Ready.net on the subgrantee selection process. So here to answer any questions that you have regarding the pre-registration process or anything related to BEAD.
Thanks, Iris. And next we'll go to Divya.
Hello, everyone. I'm from KPMG. I'm a manager with the team and working closely with ACA on the pre-registration process. Happy to take any questions that you might have.
Thanks, Divya. And Zach?
Hi, guys. I'm Zach. I'm also with the KPMG team. I'm here mainly to help out Divya and Iris getting all of your notes recorded, taking any notes needed.
Great. And last but not least is Richmond.
Hey guys, I'm Richmond from Ready. I'm here to answer any technical questions you have with the portal and can sync with you individually if you have any issues, anything like that. So thanks for being here.
All right, so thanks for all the quick introductions. Again, this is with Ready and with KPMG. They are our consultants and helping us to navigate through this BEAD process. So let's go ahead and open it up. We are here for Q&A on BEAD pre-registration. So if you've got a question, you can raise your hand. Put your question in the chat. You can unmute, whatever works for you, but we will turn it over. And I actually see that Alan has his mic unmuted already. If you're ready, Alan, go for it.
I am. So we're applying, we operate in both Utah and Arizona, and we are applying for BEAD funding in both states. I was hoping that the pre-application or pre-registration would be similar, but it's not. We are a cooperative, meaning we're a member-owned company. On the Utah application, we just had a checkbox basically that said we're a cooperative. On yours, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different levels of applicant information related to ownership. Can I use the same ownership information template saying we're a member-owned cooperative, no one owns a majority share in the company? Every member that takes, or every customer that wants to take service from us is required to become a member of the co-op. That gives them one voting share and gives them the right to participate in capital credits or patronage refunds. Can I just make this very simple, or do I have to answer every one of those levels? So there's stockholders, limited partners, general partners, limited liability, which none of them apply to us. Do I have?
Alan, first of all, can you tell us which cooperative you're from?
South Central Utah Telephone, DBA South Central Communications.
Thank you.
And we currently are operating in, and the areas that we're applying for are near, well, Centennial Park, and then the Paiute Kaibab tribe near Fredonia are the two areas that are that we're looking at applying for funding for. Which ironically, we currently serve them, but we're looking at doing fiber to the home. We've done a fiber to the home upgrade for we've been doing it for the last 8, 9 years. And these are just some of the communities that we're late getting to.
Okay.
Partially the tribal area we would have built when we did Fredonia probably 7 years ago. We couldn't get right away through the tribe, so we're still in negotiations with that. But anyway,
Okay.
my main question is regarding ownership, showing ownership of the co-op.
Got it. I don't know. It looks like Iris is ready to go.
Yes, so the short answer is yes, you can provide the simple answer, and as long as the portal allows you to do so. And that question I want to defer to Richmond, that Ellen can provide a short answer and the portal is not asking that he has to fill out every single question. And if that's the case, we'll take the short answers from you. And when we start reviewing the pre-registration form, if we have additional questions or any clarifications that we want from you, we'll reach out directly. But yes, short answer is good.
I can
Okay.
jump in here too. If you know, there's different options for different ownership structures. If it's not an ownership structure that applies to you, I'm just taking your question. Also, there's some in the chat related, so kind of loop them in. You do not need to fill that out. There's no requirement to put in ownership information that's not related to your structure. Like Iris said, I think just put the one with maybe the board members or something like that. But we understand the cooperatives can apply for this process. It's no problem there.
Okay. And does that same concept apply to the whole pre-registration application, that we don't have to check every box or fill in every click here or drag area? We don't have to have something in every field.
Correct. There's ones that are, just like there's a little red asterisk like that's universally used for if something's required, you have to say you'll apply by like the, BEAD program regulations, stuff like that. You have to click that box, but a lot of that stuff, if it doesn't apply to you, it's just to give the Arizona team enough of an understanding of what you're going in to feel confident that you could complete the application. If something doesn't apply to you, then there shouldn't be any situations where you have to apply something that wouldn't be applicable to your situation. That would all be just there and optional.
Okay. Well, and I don't mean to monopolize the time, but if nobody else is asking questions, another one that has come up that I have asked for help internally to answer is in relation to certifications, licensures, and experience levels of our employees. We do a majority of our own construction, maintenance, repairs internally. We don't use contractors. We've got employees that have been doing this for 34, well, one of our employees has been here for 40 years. We have the experience. We've been doing this kind of work since 1953 when the company was founded, and specifically fiber to the home we've been doing for 8 years. What kind of detail do you want to show that we are capable of continuing to do it, because we've been doing it for a lot of years, even though we don't have a contractor license or a PE license or anything like that. We have extremely experienced employees. We have some of the best up-to-date equipment to do this kind of work. What kind of detail are you looking for there?
Iris, is that one that you're able to answer? Or Divya? And then after that answer, Ellen, we're going to go to Kate's got her hand up. And if you've got more, we're just going to put you back in the queue.
That's fine.
Is this specific to the certifications of the team that's working with?
Right, and that's what I'm saying. We don't have licenses or certifications. We just have tons of experience.
That should be okay, as long as you describe the past experience of the team in the descriptions. That should suffice. Doesn't
Okay.
have to be particular certification. As long as you have them, you have the relevant experience and you can describe that, that should suffice.
Okay. We are operating under a professional engineer's license. We just have a consultant, so we will include that. But as far as internally, we don't have a professional engineer or any licensed position for that matter, so. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Alan. Kate's had her hand up for a while, so Kate, go ahead and unmute, ask your question.
Hi, Kelly. Thanks so much. I have two questions. Two questions. First is this going to be reviewed on a rolling basis? So I know that the deadline is the 20th of December, but then you're opening also the next round on the 20th. So if we submit next week, will it be reviewed and will be informed prior to the 20th? Is that the concept on the timeline, or do we just wait and submit it on the 20th?
So the pre-registration is open until 3 days before we close round 2. So it will stay open until April next year. It doesn't close on December 20th. So you can continue to submit your pre-registration until next year. But the thing is, you have to complete pre-registration before you can apply to any projects. And yes, we will review on a rolling basis. So it's first come, first serve. Whenever you have your pre-registration ready, submit it, and then we'll review and take a look and reach out if we have any questions. But the portal will be open until April next year.
Got it. And then I know originally, I think Sandeep had said, or I don't remember, posted somewhere that you thought you would release the project areas the end of November. Do you have any update on when the project areas will be released?
Yes, we do.
Iris,
So
I can, if you don't mind, I can
go
take
ahead.
that one. So I have like 5 emails in my inbox with that same question. So this is let me backtrack with my answer here. Number 1, we are about to announce that the date for the application window opening is changing. So we haven't announced it officially in writing yet, but it's being pushed back. So from December 20th to January 6th is when that application window will open after the holidays. And the final project areas will be shared before that application window opens. We can't commit to a specific time on that final project area. And then the reason for pushing back the timeline here is based on a number of things, but essentially we are waiting on NTIA for some final approvals. And we just can't trust that December 20th that everything will be ready then. So we're having to push everything back a little bit. But those final project areas will be shared before it opens. We understand that this is integral to your application, that you need to see these final project areas. So those are on the priority list, if that helps.
Okay, and is there any time frame, like they'll be posted for 14 days prior to the application opening? Or I know other states have committed to having a time for it, like a number of days that they'll leave it open before the project, or you're not doing that?
I'm not aware of that, Iris. I'm not sure if you are. I think it's just that once it's final, we will get that posted and made public before that application window opens.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Iris, is that in line with your information?
Yeah, I don't think there's certain days that we are committed to posting the project areas, but we will post them before we start taking the applications.
Okay. And Teresa, I know you had asked that question in the chat, and I think I've got an email from you too.
Right. Can I follow up on that one, Kelly?
Sure.
I really appreciate you telling us that you're moving the application opening date out to the 6th of January. Totally got that. I think the back end question then is the closing date. The last time we heard it was going to be February the 1st. That's a Saturday. I know you guys don't want to be there on Saturday. So have you thought about how the extension of the timeline will play out for the closing as well?
Iris, I know you've been working on that timeline.
I think the I think the plan is that we still have 30 days for applicants to respond to the application and to submit it. We have a meeting later today to flush out the details on the schedule and about pushing the dates. So it will be finalized very soon, and we will announce it as soon as we have the timeline finalized.
And Teresa, to your question, you had, because we had spoken before, you had mentioned that Saturday is an odd day to do it. And we did discuss that as a team, and we were all ready for Saturday, like, okay, yes, we're sticking with Saturday. And at this point, as far as I know, it still remains the 1st, but if that does change again, because we are announcing now that this December 20th date is changing, we will have information to share about the closing date if there's a change to that as well.
Sure, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Can you repeat what you just said about the December 20th date changing? I missed something in that conversation.
Sure. So Alan, I had said that we have not put this in an email or like released an official announcement yet, but that is coming this week. We are changing the application window opening date is moving from December 20th to January 6th. So it's no longer opening on December 20th. It will now open January 6th.
Okay, but the pre-application or pre-registration is still due December 20th.
It's due before you apply. Like you have to submit that. Like in order to be eligible to submit an application, you've got to have that pre-registration done and approved.
Okay.
So December 20th, yeah, that'd be great. If you can do it by then, great. The earlier, the better. But that date now will change with the opening because of when the January 6th date, now that's when the application is opening.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Teresa, go ahead. And then we'll get to Lisa's got one in the chat. I'm not sure if we addressed.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Kelly. This is kind of a follow along. I know you guys are considering it. You're looking at this, you're thinking about it. With such a short window, 30 days is a pretty short window for these the BEAD cycle that we've seen across the country. Honor, respect that, got it. Is there any opportunity to release that application guide earlier, since we have such a short window? 30 days is really 20 working days, really. And there's a couple of holidays in there, but I think we missed one, right, with the January 6th. So so there'll be one holiday in there. If I could ask for you all to consider releasing your application guide early, that at least gives applicants the opportunity to start getting their game plan together and do the foot race to get an application completed in a 30-day window. I just asked for you guys to consider that.
Yes. I hear you loud and clear, because I know that that's information that it's so helpful for you to have. And I know internally we are working on those documents now. I don't know if we have a release date for them, but we are aware the sooner, the earlier, the better. Certainly understand and respect that on your end as well. We want to provide as much information as possible. I see that Lisa Hughes had a second question in there, and I'm not sure that we did that or got to it. So I'm just going to read it out loud for those who might be on the phone. The other public funding template is very specific to past broadband projects. Are new entrants to manipulate the other public funding spreadsheet to document past projects, or do new entrants only use the new plus entrance plus operational plus evidence template to list past projects? Do entrants not provide any upload where it asks for other public funding templates? And again, I look to Iris or Divya on that one.
Divya, I'll defer this to you.
Right. So for the operational capability section, so there's a section where the new entrants can provide past projects, or at least provide details of the projects of the contractors and the subcontractors that they plan to partner with for this. That is specifically for new entrants. And for other public funding information template, so there are 4 categories under that, which are completed projects, active deployment projects, projects awaiting award, or planned future projects. So you can list the completed or active projects and also If there are none, if there is a completely new provider, they can provide details of the planned future projects. It could be plans to apply for other public funding programs, and you can just list those names. I hope that answers the question.
Okay. Lisa said, great, thank you. And Kate responded in the chat, agreeing with Teresa, 30 days is very difficult, would appreciate the application as soon as possible. Heard. All right, other questions? Like I said, you can raise your hand. I see Teresa's got her hand up. Go for it, Teresa.
All right. So a question following on to Lisa's. If a new entrant, right, has received grants of large scale and scope for smart grid or other types of energy related programs, can they use that in the documentation of past experience? And is that acceptable? I think that's what you guys were saying yes to, but I just want to make sure that, you know, if a new entrant who doesn't have past broadband grant awards, can you leverage their smart grid or other grants? FEMA, for example, those are hugely regulated and a lot of oversight. Are those acceptable for you guys to consider technical, managerial, and financial competence?
So the requirement for new entrants' operational capability is basically providing the details on the years of existence and the nature of business. In terms of experience, the applicants are required to submit evidence that through internal or external sources, they have the sufficient operational capabilities to deploy broadband specific infrastructure. So even if there are no previous broadband infrastructure experience, they can include the resumes of key personnel who might have experience or project descriptions and narratives from contractors, subcontractors, or any other partners that the new entrants plan to partner with for the project.
So would you consider a smart grid grant that they had received as a co-op as evidence of their ability? I mean, if it's an 40, 50 million dollar smart grid grant that they've received, would that show you evidence they were able to execute on large grant infrastructure grant agreements?
Yes, we can
Okay.
start that for the beginning. And if we need any additional information, we can get back on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I can see another question in the chat about question 52. If your organization is a new broadband service provider, provide length of duration of providing broadband services if applicable. This doesn't make sense. Do you mean existing broadband service provider? The previous question 51 asks new broadband service providers to provide details on years in existence and nature of business. There, Iris, is that one you can speak to?
Yeah, so this one for the new service provider. So there are two questions on it. The first one is that they provide details of the years of existence and the nature of business, and the length of duration of providing broadband services only if applicable. So it could be a new provider which started 2 years ago, and they can include information of having 2 years of broadband experience. If it's completely a new provider, then they can just provide the years in existence and the nature of business, even if it's not broadband specific. So you can answer the first question and answer the second one only if it's applicable.
If I may, I just wanted to add that my understanding is in this context, new is younger than 3 years would be the way to think about it.
All right, Lisa said thank you. And Teresa, you're still unmuted. Did you have more follow-up?
Nope, I'm good right now. Sorry.
Okay, No. Sorry, that was not a negative call out. Just wanted to make sure I'm giving opportunity. Okay, so it's 1:27. We've got a few minutes left. I know I started us 1 minute late today. I do want to make sure we're getting to all your questions. And the email remains a good way to reach us as well. I'll put that here in the chat. We are working hard to make sure that we are responsive. Broadband@azcommerce.com. Put that in the chat. So like I said, and also I will share here, I don't know if you have seen our website today, but we have a new website. It has a new look, new feel, even has a new URL. The old URL does redirect, so don't worry about that. The things that you've got bookmarked will work. We will have an announcement coming out about that later this week. This is a big governor initiative, this website and the broadband initiative. So if you go to our website, you will see that it's new. It looks different. Thanks, Teresa. Appreciate the feedback there about the new URL. But the portal information in the portal URL remains the same. That does not change. So we will be sending out announcements at this week at some point in time. If you are participating in this Zoom session, then that means you will receive the updates via email. And then we also will host kind of a demo next week on the new website. So if you have questions or anything, you'll be able to participate that. But all of those things are in the work. Just want to highlight that website is new. And it is out there, and it should not impact anything that you are doing. The URL redirects, all is good. And you'll be getting information as well about the date change from December 20th to January 6th. Okay, so we can close here at this point. If there are other questions, you can certainly reach us via email. We will have this session again next Tuesday, and we also have the opportunity to book the one-on-one sessions if you need more time. And I can put those links in the chat before you go if you need them. Doing two things at once is always hard for me, so please stand by. All right, here is the link for this session. If you want to share this or sign anyone else up to attend, that's the Zoom session. And then I will put a link in there for the one-on-one office hours. Here we go. Coming, I promise. There we go. All right, and this is for the individual. So if you need more time, more specific questions just to you and your team, you can do that with the Outlook link that's in there as well. And that's it for today. It's 1:30. Thanks everybody for joining, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.